We're online, tuned in. I'm in the Pokemon Center waiting room, and they said it might be 12 minutes. They say keep that window open and do not refresh it. But here's the only problem. I don't have any money. This is the most rare, most exclusive drop on the spot. And they haven't paid me yet. They've been making delays. They've been not wanting to fulfill orders. They've been taking their time. They've been not wanting to send the emergency fund. They've been increasing the cost of dental instead of decreasing it to help the community, especially then if there's delays in their payments, and then not having their back pay. So if all of this is happening, I'm in the Poke Center live, but the only problem is I don't even have enough to get my exclusive drop right now. You know how crazy that is? 11 minutes on the clock. They drained my bank account. The bank, instead of protecting a customer, been charging me, doing dirty accounting. They've been cooking books. I've been wanting to do even more business. They've been giving commercials away for free to other individuals. I've been number 1 and number 2 on Spotify. Can you believe that? I'm uploading all the footage right now. I'm in the Poke Center, 10 minutes. Then I gotta see what do they even have. The stores been flying off the entire shelves. People been running to the stores. Looks like Black Friday, Cyber Monday, shredding packs. We're over here trying to add value. They say some cards are 42 cents. No, it's not. If you add up all the 42 cents, the pack is more expensive than that. 42, just say that's $1. 42, say that's $2. Some packs only have 4 cards and is more expensive than $2. And they drain my bank account, and then the bank's accountants aren't protecting the customers, and then the state isn't protecting my health by saving the documents. So we're just live tuned in, but check this out. If you go log in, we're on YouTube, Josh Ford Show. We've been leaking exclusive documents on the Josh Ford Show YouTube because all of this is going on. So we wrote the No Drama song, number 1, on the Wish You Were Mine album. So on the Wish You Were Mine album, we have a song called No Drama. That was the first things first. Delayed payments, avoidance, financial interference. All of this is now being shown on TikTok and on YouTube and on Facebook. So now I gotta be behind the scenes, because instead of allowing me to go big time to keep collecting my money, they try to hide it. Now I do content so fast that they gotta pay me even more. The police gotta pay me more. The state gotta pay me more. But everybody's practicing the avoidance. That's the whole problem. Everybody's used to getting paid through somebody else. You see the issue with that? Everybody in history is always used to getting paid through somebody else. You're supposed to write the paycheck and put it directly into my bank account. Joshua Elijah Ford. Not everybody else. That's the whole problem. So Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, is just straight to Josh Ford. That's why now I gotta show my banking, my routing, my social security, so you know directly where you can put the money, because they're practicing avoidance. They wanted to minimize my views, but we're doing it big time. We're going maximum. So when we're doing everything maximum, sometimes, when you're on the field, you might be doing maximum activities on the field. And now they're trying to practice avoidance. Now they're trying to act like number one is not supposed to have the trophy. How is number one now? They're saying like maybe number 7 or something. Okay, so now we have to show it on TikTok and on YouTube, and I'm still on Snapchat too. It's going down. 6 minutes in the waiting room in the Poke Center. So I'm live in the Poke Center. We got 6 minutes on the clock. They cannot show me a thing. That's how exclusive it is. But the cheap prices, if you see the cheap prices, you gotta get it while you can, because it's been flying off the shelves. So if you can even find a cheaper price, like on my website, so if you click the link, it's gonna take you probably to Facebook. It's gonna take you to josh4music.com. It's gonna take you to wmirecords.com. Then if you get to the card site, if you see the prices that are that low, you gotta get it while you can, because these prices been through the roof. So if you see something that's like 50, 25, 50, 100, 2,000, that's all cheap prices right now, because some of the Chinese packs, some of the Korean packs, some of the Japanese packs, $20 and there's 4 cards in it. More rare than anything we ever saw. Some of the gray ones, so I cannot even see anything right now in the Poke Center. I'm in the Poke Center chilling. Look, 5 minutes on the clock too. I gotta just stay by myself. I can't see anything. The most rare exclusives. The bank not paying me, doing withdrawals for some reason. I'm holding on to the biggest assets. Police are running to my doors, running on the roof. I said, I don't know what's going on. I think they were wanting to see my Mew and my Mewtwo. They were running on the rooftops. They were trying to block my money. Now they're using spyware. They're using spyware now. I said, why are we using spyware in 2026 instead of paying me? Spyware. I dropped the song Bikini Season, and they started using spyware instead. I said, just bring your bikini. Bathing suit wear, they use spyware. 4 minutes on the clock. I gotta take a look at it and take some shots, but I cannot probably buy one of them because that's how rare it is. So we got some of them on the site. We're gonna keep putting individual singles live on the site. wmirecords.com. If you click that and you go to the TikTok, the Facebook, the YouTube, Twitter, all of that. I'm gonna post this video up right now, but we're gonna have single cards up there, because some packs only have 10, some packs only have 8, some packs only have 5, some packs only have 4, some packs 30 years old. Here's the thing, I need to learn how to get this connected to technology though. So they only gave me that much money, right? Just like somebody else, one of the biggest in the game, I would have to say freestyle better than me. A lot of people freestyle better than me. Even though we did the record 7 Rings Magic Island freestyle, that went straight to the moon. That went straight to the moon. City Poppin' freestyle went straight to the moon, right? Boom, number ones. City Poppin', boom, number one. Magic Island freestyle, boom, number one. But there's a lot of people who freestyle better than me. That's how crazy it is right now. But make sure to go to wmirecords.com. You can download those freestyles. But on the other section, there's the card section. So we're putting one at a time on there. And we got to learn how to connect it. So one of the biggest in the game, sometimes people learn how to connect everything. But then, just like in the videos I'm showing, the police start running on the rooftop. Girls start like doing kind of, I don't know, activities. So if I'm in a Poke Center, they start doing like the stuff that you see on TV kind of stuff. I'm in real life with the show, live and direct. 2 minutes for the Poke Center. This is how brand new it is. But they left me. I'm supposed to have like 842 billion. If you keep going number one across the entire countries, 100 countries, if you keep going number one, you're supposed to get paid billions. But they left me with Pokemon money. So now we gotta flip these millions and we gotta do it from scratch again. And we gotta get it connected to the website technology. The website technology. And we gotta learn to get better phones, better internet. We gotta learn to keep making money and doing business. They're supposed to owe me every day. I'm supposed to have my millions. Shout out to my real one logging in. All my real ones. So we wrote the song Duffel Bag and Pay Me. It's loud out there these days. We kind of get distracted though. You see how crazy that is when they gotta actually make it loud outside? Like they're working with loud records. So, you know the producer engineers, they let everything redline and peak. They let the whole maximizer peak like they working for loud records. Once you start doing that on Apple Music and Spotify, now they start saying that loud records behind your house. They start noise interferences. They try not to have Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon all pay you the checks. They try to start interfering. Once you secure the Michael Jordan and you drop those records, I saw the police running back and forth. They were running back and forth, interfering. They were acting like NFL, pass interference, using the technology, the ray guns. You know how they talk about all of this stuff? Satellites and ray guns and phone taps, like how I said in Winners Club. That's what they started doing. Once I got the Michael Jordan, the Mewtwo, then they started running around with the ray guns. And I gotta find out who to sell these to now. So once I opened up, look. Oh, no. That's crazy. So we gotta get it on this side too as the marketing. That's crazy. We had to wait for 15 minutes in the Poke Center straight. And then guess what? Pikachu's on Snorlax. And then bro is talking about this and that in his song. So once you wait 15 minutes for the exclusive and then they put Pikachu on Snorlax, that means the website went down. Too much traffic and they sold out already. So that's how rare these cards, the Japanese, the Korean, the Chinese, they might have some of the African cards too, some of the gold cards, some of the platinum cards. It's so rare that once you log into the Poke Center, they put Pikachu and Snorlax sleeping because it's gone already. The website went to sleep. Look. The website went to sleep. Pikachu on Snorlax. And now you can't even find it. And the bank then has to protect the customers. But then they keep withdrawing the money. So if you open a pack, right, and I find a Charizard, like how Russ was talking about in his song, I said on my level was number 2. The Winners Club was number 1. And he was talking about Charizard. If I open the pack and I find that, but the feds are running back and forth, the police, and talking about guns, like they didn't have none, like they acted like they sold them all. If the police were doing that, and I found one Charizard, and I went number 1 on Spotify, then why is the bank taking all my money? That means you're supposed to have credit that gives you debit, that's like unlimited amounts. Congress supposed to pay you, because the police cannot use raised satellite guns and interference and technology and then start wiretapping and then start videoing and then using audio communication walkie-talkies while you're in the Poke Center and you rip open a pack like Willy Wonka. If I have $0 and I rip open a pack like Willy Wonka and I find a Charizard and we're number 1 on Spotify, how is the bank gonna take my money? Okay, so let's talk about this. The Winners Club, Josh Ford, went number 1 on Spotify. I opened a pack, found a Charizard. Then the bank robbed me. Then all of these interferences that are legal statutes and accounts, even different judges from different cities and states financially interfered, different lawyers too, on the Josh Ford brand. Josh or Elijah Ford. So if I went number 1 with the Winners Club on Spotify, World Music Innovations, and then I found a Charizard, and then the bank doesn't protect this client, how is the kid supposed to get protected? Or somebody's parent, if they were on their last dollar, right? Like Willy Wonka. I opened up my last dollar. I found this one. I ripped it up. I found one. You know the Willy Wonka movie? I don't have clothes. I don't have the private jet, but I have my PJs. I found one. But the bank and the credit cards are then going crazy, taking my money instead of paying me and protecting me as their customer and client in the United States of America, even with with the security book with the U.S. seal. So if I show my U.S. seal surveillance right here, they're supposed to supersede everything. See, look. This is the Poke Center footage. Pikachu on Snorlax. While I'm in the center, I found a Charizard. The Poke Center, it says it's closed. They took all my money in America, and I pulled a Charizard from China. Okay, so let's talk about this. If I'm in United States of America, right, and I pull a Chinese Charizard, but the Poke Center is closed, and the police are sprinting around, but I have this automatic clearance, and I'm Spotify #1 with the Winners Club World Music Innovations, the Coconut Kingdom. Automatic clearance. Look at that. And I was on my last dollar. Zero. I owe my mom millions of dollars. The state didn't pay me my millions of dollars. Then I had different states, probably California, probably Las Vegas, even though I love all the states. I love all the countries and all the states. But then they interfered on my finances financially, and I have an automatic pass. Look at that. You know, like how they always talk about in the movies when they show the card? It's always in the movies where they go like this, and it's the pass. This allows me to go everywhere. And I'm supposed to have unlimited money, because once you go Spotify with the Winners Club that many times and you pull a Charizard, that's like you get to be Willy Wonka money with a golden ticket in America. So then the president is slacking, because if I pull a Willy Wonka ticket in America and I have the automatic surveillance, but I cannot get food for my mom and I find a Charizard, but the Poke Center, Pikachu and Snorlax is closed, because if Pikachu is sleeping on top of Snorlax and he's snoring, that means there's a problem right now in the United States if the police and the federal government are running around instead of paying Spotify #1. So they put Russ's face on top of the distribution, but the Winners Club went #1. Then I went #2 and 3. I went #1, 2, and 3, but they didn't deliver my money. Then I sent out the certified documents like a Epstein list. I had to send it out because I have full access surveillance. When I go to different places, they're just supposed to put me in the back already. So like in the back of the big bodies that I was talking about in Seven Rings Magic Island. Like Macaulay Culkin eating pizza in the back of the limousine. They're automatically, once I flash this like the movie, it's like the movie, but it's in real life. Especially if Facebook tries to stop my communications, right? And the police try to stop. But I flash this and this supersedes everything, right? Because just because you go to Harvard or whatever, or you act like you have that much money, it's not true if you just do that. And you say, oh yeah, that's unlimited access. That means even the credit cards, they're illegally interfering on me financially. And look at the Poke Center right there in the back. It's closed even if I found a rare Charizard from China. That means Pokemon and Nintendo would need to help their customers more. Especially if I pulled that on my last dollar. Chinese Charizard. Okay, so I have to turn this one off. But then I have to flash this. And I have to cut up the content. Because then I have to send out the documents. Because nobody's going #1, 2, and 3. When you go #1, 2, and 3, you have... And then different states interfere instead of pay you. So all 50 states are supposed to be paying you. So when they let one person who has supersede access with Coconut Kingdom and with the Winners Club, Spotify, Apple, Google, Amazon, there's distribution, YouTube, TikTok, Snapchat. When you flash this, all countries, all states, all cities give you unlimited access. I cannot really talk about these kind of documents really, and I cannot really show them. But then once they make you have to show it too, they owe you cars, they owe you cash. First things first is they owe you money, right? Because they cannot avoid paying you money. Like, everybody who go to the Olympics cannot not get paid and then even not get a trophy or validation. Like, that looks crazy, right? They all get millions of dollars, TV, all of that. But once the states, so if you're international, that means all 50 states owe you money. Boom. That means if they didn't pay you your billions, they would owe you your trillions, but by default owe you millions. Because then you got to take care of your mom, you got to take care of the house. And finding a Charizard is real life. And finding that you do number 1, 2, and 3 is real life. That's not Willy Wonka. So then you show this. So here's the thing. If the police are running around and different state officials then deny you medicine, deny you access, and they pull up with their badges, this supersedes the police badges because this supersedes all countries. Not only the state, there's 400 or 500 countries. Once you show this, you have unlimited access in 500 countries. That means cash, money, United States dollars. If you gotta convert their currency to more money, when you show that, even the bank supposed to automatically have your money for you. Especially once you go 1, 2, and 3, Apple Music connected to Spotify, connected to Google, YouTube, and all of these platforms are then all connected, interconnected, even with TikTok. And then if the police show their badge to you, but you're already 500 country international, and you show this on camera, they're supposed to, even your lawyer, supposed to get the funds immediately. So they're supposed to get the funds, the money, and the banking to you immediately because you already did Wall Street. You already did all that. Then you went 500 countries international. Then if they act like the people who work there cannot calculate it, all the accountants that work there, like you go 500 country international, 50 states. Now they're saying they cannot calculate it, but then there's delays because they cannot do calculations. So then you run up so many numbers, like you're in the game back to back, and they financially interfere you instead of going with the accountants and then going through all the countries and collecting his billions and trillions. So that's very interesting when the police department isn't doing their research and due diligence to then make sure to, if you're a U.S. SEAL, they cannot go to your house like that without money because logistically that doesn't make sense if you show them that, the U.S. SEAL. Then once the state isn't just bringing your flowers, right, indica flowers to help your health, then logistically that doesn't make sense if the bank is not protecting your assets. So if you just ripped open the card, and that was your, as a kid, you had $10, you bought the pack, and I find the Charizard, my bank is not helping me. The Poke Center has Pikachu sleeping on Snorlax and doing maintenance because it's not open. the police aren't then bringing the amount of money that Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Interscope, Tidal, Pandora, Snapchat, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, X, Threads, Instagram. Once you do that with the US seal, they compromise my Instagram. Now I'm leaking all the documents like an Epstein list. Going crazy. Because if you're in the community, everybody knows you. They cannot wake up the next day say, oh, I don't know. Now they're talking about they have amnesia, like they've been on anesthesia too long. I said, no, this is the seal of approval. And that doesn't make sense. You're not supposed to show that, that's why. Well, you just minding your own business and you doing business on the phones, Apple Music, #1, connected to Spotify, #1, all of that. The World Music Innovations, WMIRecords.com, JoshForMusic.com. It's automatically they know you. The management supposed to be your manager. That means all the money's supposed to then be found by that person. So that if you live in the apartments, right, and they have cameras on the apartments, because then they turn the apartments to the penthouse, right? So if you go #1 and you turn the apartments into a penthouse, they're supposed to automatically get you your money. Then if the police bring their badges, but then you're actually a US seal of approval, you know how horrible that looks in the state when you're #1 and they're not paying you your trillions and you gotta owe your mom. So if I owe my mom millions, right, and they owe me it's weird to talk like that, but then I gotta say billions, because everybody's a billionaire out there. Then if they owe me my billions, I should be able to pay my mom trillions. Then if you do that and you turn it into a penthouse, the management are supposed to then bring your money. If it's not directly to your bank, then it is in cash. It cannot be funny money though. It gotta be I can use it. Because if you have a Charizard and you just opened up that last pack and the Poke Center is closed, where do you go if the police then try to bring their guns to your door? But then you're a US seal of approval. Look at this. You're not supposed to act like the movies and then just do this. Then act like the doctors cannot just bring your medical flowers, your indica, and then on camera they have you standing outside the door on your birthday. On my birthday, they kicked me out of the dispensary and I haven't been able to walk in. The police went to my door, they tried to arrest me, and then I just showed that. That's a US seal. I don't understand. If you've been doing logistics all this time, and even when Spotify connected to Apple Music, TikTok and all the platforms connected to all the distribution, Universal, Sony, Spotify, Apple, TuneCore, CD Baby, DistroKid, then all of that money is supposed to be delivered automatically. So the Poke Center is closed, but then we found a Charizard and they left $0 in my bank.